All right, it's chip of the day. We have an ADS8344 from Breadboard, also known as Texas Instruments. It's an 16-bit 8-channel A to D. So it has an input multiplexer, which is nice. A lot of times, in the way back days, I would put in a separate multiplexer and then run that into an A to D. But you can get A to Ds these days that are multiple channel, which is really nice. And so this data sheet covers different packages. But yeah, 16 bits, which is okay these days. You can get 16 bits inside of the microprocessor these days, but this is probably a little bit better. But it is 8 channels. The microprocessor is going to read different pins too, so maybe it's a little bit dated part, but seems okay. Low cost, high speed. Has a 100 kilohertz conversion rate, so that's quite speedy, so that's good. So you can be scanning, you could have those 8 lines, and you could be scanning each one, and it only takes 100 kilohertz for each band, right? Or each channel, so that's pretty good. Serial interface. So I must say, one of the things I've learned about doing chip of the day, if I was going to actually build something, especially in the garage, don't do serial interfaces. Get I2C. Yes, it's a serial interface, but just get I2C. It always works. The SPI and the other types of weird clocks, and you get into troubles. I've gotten into trouble on this one. And just I2C just always works. I love I2C. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at some of the specifications. It's got a lot of pins. It is a surface mount part, of course, but here's all the 8. It's laid out nicely. Here's all the 8 inputs, channels 0 through 7, and a common. There's a shutdown pin. You can turn things off. It does have 2 VCC pins, which is kind of weird, pins 20 and 12. And then it has a VREF pin. So you can just use VCC for the VREF, but if you're going to be using this as an A to D, you want a real stable VREF. So you would run a different voltage into VREF. A couple grounds. And then here's the clock thing. You've got a clock. You've got a chip select, data in, data out. So it eats up a bunch of pins also. Let's see here. 16 bits. Let's see here. Sampling dynamics. Clock cycle, 16 clock cycles to do a conversion. Blah, 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 blah. Internal clock. So you can run this thing on internal clock or an external clock. The clock is the A to D doing its thing. You can just let it run its own thing. It's got a 2.4 megahertz clock inside of it when it does its conversions. Okay, let's get to the stuff that is probably, if you're going to use one of these things, that should be what Chip of the Day is about. It's like, if you were going to use one of these things, what's the good and the bad about them, right? All right, so here's the part. Here you would have an external VREF coming in. So, okay, so let's see. If you use ChatGPT or Gemini or something to write your code like I do, it's going to think you're using this. If you use it in differential input mode, then the chip selects or the channel select is kind of weird. You can see this weird table here. And then there's this table, which is just simple. It's just 3 bits is 0 through 7. And the AI wanted you to use this, and it messed me up, and I had to go overwrite it. So let's take a look at the data down here. All right. So you have a chip select, you pull the chip select low, and then you start giving it clocks. You can input the data. So every single conversion you have to give it a command, okay? Every single conversion, because you're going to give it which channel to read. So you say, give me channel 0, and then it outputs 0. Give me channel 1, then it outputs 1. Give me channel 2, then it outputs 2. But if you just want to read channel 0, then it's give me channel 0, give me channel 0, give me channel 0. You have to command it every single time, okay? So you send the data out in a command word. Okay, we'll talk about that. And then it outputs the 16 bits of data in a serial stream. Seems simple enough. Here is the control byte, okay? You tell it a start bit, so that's always 1. Say, you know, make me a reading. And then here are the 3 bits that set 0 through 7. And then you can say use a single mode or differential mode. Always use single mode. And then PD is the internal power down mode. This is power down, and yeah, these are the power down modes. So this is the one that says use the internal clock, use the, and there you go. Okay, so is there anything else to get out of this thing? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway. So let's take a look at a breadboard. All right, here's the part here. You can see it's kind of a very fine pitch part, little gull wing part, an SSOP 20. And so here are the 8 pins over here. I have a little potentiometer on one of the pins. And then I'm using, so here's my Tales of Woe. Okay, so first of all, I had AI write the code for me, and it came up with an OK code using the SPI port, SPI. And I just had problems getting the data correct with the SPI, so I told it, I had Gemini write it, and then I threw it into ChatGPT, and I had it look at it, and they kind of disagreed with one another, and then I said, okay, and then I finally got it kind of doing something, but it still wasn't quite right. So I told it, throw away SPI and do bit banging. Just rewrite it for bit banging. And it did that. And then it was better. I could use my logic analyzer to kind of see what was going on. And I could see the data was toggling and stuff like that. But there's still something weird going on in the breadboard. You can watch my numbers over there. If I kind of put my, see, it's not going to do it. There we go. If I put my finger over here, now it's actually doing something. So there's something weird going on in my circuit here. So anyway, again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time making it work just for a chip of the day. The point of the chip of the day is that it points you to some parts that you might not know exist, and then maybe give you some tips on whether you want to use it or not, right? And like I said, I would just try to find a part that was I2C, but you can probably get this to work because it does seem to be doing something. It might just be the function of this breadboard having a loose connection somewhere, or I'm not actually selecting the right. I tried all the different inputs and tried to figure out maybe that's what was going on, and I'm just kind of, yeah, see if I'm touching the analog inputs, it's really not doing much. When I touch the outputs, it's not really doing much. And then when I put my finger right over the top of it, then it starts to do something. So there's something weird going on in my breadboard, but anyway, it's good enough for chip of the day, right? It's good enough for Australia, as Dave would say. Good enough for IMSAI guy. But yeah, it should be an okay part. I think it's still being manufactured, and it will run on 2.7 to 5 volts. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, that was chip of the day, an ADS8344, 16-bit, 8 channels.